Great to see you all today. So I just want to talk a little bit about how ANBU started. So this is a while back. My sister experienced childhood sexual abuse in her childhood. We decided to prosecute the perpetrator some 30 years later, and we had a court case, and he was sentenced to 12 years in prison, which is quite landmark at the time, of which I think he only served 6 years in the end. So court case was over. We're expecting closure from this, from the emotional upheaval of the court case, and even potentially celebration from the community that, you know, we had locked up this dangerous person. But of course, we couldn't have been further away from the reality of it all. The culture of silence and concepts of shame and stigma are so prominent in close-knit communities. This can be especially affecting when your own sense of being, belonging, safety is rooted in these communities. So we realized something was just not right, and we wanted to make sure others that had similar experiences didn't feel alone in this. So after a web search, I miraculously found the founding team, ANBU Canada, and I connected with them. And then a year or so later, back in 2017, we started the ANBU UK branch. And there's some of you on the call today that have been with us since day one. Since then, we've been growing from strength to strength, holding events, presentations, workshops, and therapeutic activity, which you'll hear more about later in Shavina's presentation. Our work is specifically targeted to the Tamil community using language and terminology that speaks to the culture and the way of living. We do this because as an ethnic minority group that is small in number, we're often lost in wider kind of categorizations, which can really do us a disservice, especially considering our recent past and the many layers of trauma we may be carrying, including the effects of a 30-year civil war, intergenerational trauma, and the impact of forced migration, all of which can have a profound impact on the way we live our lives now. So Nibbana will be exploring this further when she goes through the ANBU needs assessment again later on today. But as ANBU, there's only so much we can do with our niche focus. Whilst we celebrate our cultural uniqueness, there's so much that unites us when we consider the wider South Asian community. Barriers and restrictions, for instance, are prominent and across all cultures. Barriers that impact reporting and seeking support for childhood sexual abuse, impacting the actual numbers of accounts recorded. We're not even anywhere near realizing the true prevalence of childhood sexual abuse from within the South Asian community. So to really bring about the transformations we want to see in the community, we need to understand the drivers behind behaviors and culture to create an evidence base that's for actual, sustainable and meaningful change. And that's why we wanted to host this research symposium. So today you'll hear insights from research conducted by Vanajah, Hannah and Thiba from within the Tamil and South Asian community, and more operational experiences from Zakla and the work of Apna Hack. We hope you'll leave today with a better understanding of our cultural uniqueness, as well as our collective South Asian power. We hope service providers and institutions have a better understanding on how it looks to serve its diverse communities. We hope it inspires practitioners to advocate for better tailored support and also inspire more research into this space. So finally, I would like to extend a warm welcome to you all for joining us today, and our gratitude to our speakers for graciously sharing their work and insights.